Ooh, I hit that button so fast. How's it going, everyone? How are you? I'm trying to get set up. I know I'm late. Don't be too upset. All right, I know I'm late, but I'm here. All right, I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go ahead and jump online. We're going to be having a conversation with our beautiful baby, Sherrod Willis. I'm waiting on him to get into the room. I can't listen. I was just getting ready. How are you all? So good to see you. I was just getting ready to start the live, and literally my how are you babies, literally my drink fell over, so my glass broke. I'm a little bit upset right now. All right. So I'm break another glass. Jesus, tell you. How is everyone doing? All right, Sherrod, let me know when you're in the room, baby. Oh goodness, let me know when you're in the room. How is everyone? Go ahead and hit those lightning bolts and all those wonderful things. All right, we're gonna have a beautiful conversation on tonight. I'm excited. All right. How are you all? So good to see you. That's Dottie. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. I'm not ready. I'll be right back in the president. Oh, Obama speak? Wait, hold on. Lord, wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. I didn't know that. I feel so bad. I didn't know that was tonight. I knew the Clinton was talking. I didn't know he was. I feel so bad. Okay, I guess. Oh, okay. I got the boy. Come on, Sherrod. What are you doing? Obama speaking. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Hey, how are you? All right, Roland. Come on. Let's see. Somehow this angle getting on my nerves. Hold on a second. I don't want it to be quite so literal. That's a little better angle. Hold on. I'm seeing too much of the ceiling. Trying to even this thing out. Well, I know once Sherrod gets here. Hold on, there we go. Okay, here he is. All right, I'm hitting the Sherrod.
Hello.
There you go. Okay.
What
How
up?
you doing, baby?
Okay, so I know we had a talk and I want to, let you know that I have, created an outfit for tonight.
This is a reveal. Okay, you had me scared. I didn't quite know what was getting ready to happen. This is a reveal.
Yes.
I did tell him to
If you
come up with a
ready?
look for tonight.
It ain't nothing, Chad. It's just me.
Listen, inside and out, and exhibitionist as you are, I expected nothing less.
Yes.
But
What's
that's
going
good.
on,
Take it off
Auntie?
so everybody will come into the room.
Oh, okay. Well, this stand ain't gonna help then. I probably need to just set it
You
up on
got
the
a
desk or
fan.
something. Huh?
You said a fan. What are you talking about?
Oh, my Auntie, can you say hey, Fabian? That's my best
Hey,
friend.
Fabian. How are you,
My best
baby?
friend here.
All right. Listen, everybody's getting into the body. I knew it was gonna bring people in. Hey, Weekend Pearls, how you doing, baby?
Yes, body.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's gonna be that kind of night. Well, listen.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
we done.
Let's not get the live shut down because you're putting your ass out for everybody to see.
Okay.
That's what we're
Let's
here
get
to talk
into
about too. Why you're fast.
it.
Oh my goodness. Hey, how's everyone doing? Thank you for being here. All right. So listen, let's get into this. So I wanted to bring I want to say Sherrod back. We had an amazing conversation a few days ago. And a lot of people's lives were touched because of that conversation. So
Yes.
I wanted to bring you back so we could talk about more.
Yes. I'm definitely ready. Talking to you that night, I was not expecting it to go like that.
I don't think either of us
However,
was.
however, I'm glad it happened and it was well needed because a lot was lifted off my shoulders, a lot of guilt, a lot of frustration, a lot of this and a lot of that. Plus, it was in the midst of this whole racial thing, and it was just a lot going on. So I'm glad that I was able to just talk to you, regardless of who was watching, because it helped me.
Hmm.
And you know what I'm saying, I needed to, because I needed to get back to me and doing what I love to do. And one thing about it, this is what I want to say. And if my best friend is still on here, he can
The
he
Fabian,
can yes, if my best friend's still on here, he can definitely
Fabian,
agree
chime in.
agree with me.
Okay,
When I was younger, I did not have any self-esteem.
okay. Let's
So we're
get
gonna
into
dip
that.
into my we're
Let's
gonna dip into
let's
my past.
let's start unpacking some things. So let's talk about the self-esteem. Describe to us what that's like. What that was like.
Um, when I was younger, it was it was a lot that I had to deal with.
Okay.
Um, and I didn't understand because I did not understand why my brother was the favorite. I did not understand why my mom and my grandma would pay so much attention to my brother and not me.
And
Because
not
and not me. And I say that
okay.
because long story short, my mom and my grandma don't have the best relationship, or they didn't have the best relationship back then. So when my brother came into the picture, he was the firstborn, the baby, you know.
Mhm.
So it was just like, oh my God, like this bundle of joy, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
So when I came to the picture, it wasn't like that. It was like, okay, it's a new baby, cool, but Brandon is still number one, number one.
Okay.
So I was just like, wow, because I can remember,
Now,
my mom.
go
Go
ahead. Go
ahead.
on. Now I'll ask right after this. Go ahead.
I can remember my mom and my grandma arguing one night, and I was just crying, just crying, just crying, just crying, and I was left crying
What were they
until
arguing about?
after my brother.
They were arguing like over it. Like what? What do you mean?
Because my grandma, long story short, my grandma wanted to take my brother away from my mom.
Okay.
And, you know, I didn't really understand. I really didn't understand why back then because it's just like, I'm here too. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so then when I became of age to kind of like recognize and really remember stuff and see stuff, it was just like whoa, because my brother got all the new stuff. I would get the hand-me-downs, or whenever my brother would ask for anything, it's always a yes. But when I would ask, it's hesitation, it's quickly a no, or let me think. So it was just a lot of stuff I had to deal with as a child. So
Hmm.
moving on to elementary school,
Yes.
here it is. My brother's popular sports, got the girls around him, just da da da,
Okay.
just fit like a regular, And here I am, the ugly duckling, the weirdo. I
Okay.
had big teeth. I had big teeth. I was really bony. I had big lips. I just felt awkward.
You
But
had
the
not
only
grown
thing,
into your features yet. So let me pause. Let's unpack some of this. So
okay,
I was going to ask you, at the time, were you upset about the fuss over your brother because you felt that you were attractive? Because you're a very attractive man. Let's be honest about that. So
thank
I
you.
was wondering, were you um, thinking that because you were a good looking individual that they should pay attention to you because of that? But at that time, it sounds like you had not grown into your features yet. So you
Right,
didn't
which
feel like what we see today. Does that make sense?
Right, because and then back then, because I didn't know I'm still a child, but I'm just like, why am I not getting the attention that my brother's getting? Like, what's going on? What's going on? So,
Okay.
feeling that way, the only thing I have for me is dance. I just knew whenever music would come on, I love to dance.
Okay.
And especially when it came to female singers, I would
Okay.
I just loved the sound of a female voice, and I just like back then in the '90s and stuff, female
Yeah.
sing. It was a
Well,
lot of them.
you had to know how to sing.
Yes,
You had to know.
it
You
was a
had to
lot
have
of
some
them.
pipes back in the day.
Right. So, Mariah Carey,
Yes.
Brandy, I love Brandy, even Whitney Houston, like just all of the heavy hitters, Tony Braxton. So all I knew that made me happy at that moment was singing. The only reason why I even tried to do sports was to fit in. and to be
Of
like my
course, which
brother.
most people do. That's understandable.
Right,
What did
right.
you play? What
And
sports?
my brother played everything, but back in the day, basketball was his shit.
Okay, so you were trying to play basketball to compete with him?
To compete with him and just to be popular, just to fit in. And mind you, we still in elementary school.
Yeah.
And but me and my brother, we were tight though.
Yeah.
Because like nobody would pick with me. If I ever had an issue, he would handle it. Like, so I never so all I had to do was say, well, I'm gonna get my brother, or they'd be like, no, that's Brandon brother, don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that because I had that advantage, or I had that, I felt protected. On
Right.
top of me,
Okay.
feeling like strange, weird, I felt protected because I knew my brother was always gonna be there.
Okay.
Even when it came down to my mom and my grandma, you know what I'm saying? I had like, if they say no to me, they won't say no to him. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
But, but, and so it's just always been like that.
So
One thing
let's
that
so let
hurt
me
me though,
say it
one thing
again.
that hurt, one thing that hurt me was, and I'll never forget it. I think I had to be in the third or fourth grade. My best friend, Terry Henry,
Okay.
like he was Caucasian. Um, he came to my birthday party at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, everything just went left when my brother was like, let's go play basketball. And when I tell you, I was just eating cake with me and my mama.
Okay. So you felt abandoned a lot.
Yeah, that really hurt.
Okay.
Like, so then
So
it kind of
now,
made me look at my brother like, damn, like this was the only friend I had at the time. And you just stole him away because y'all play
mm,
basketball. You know what I'm saying?
how many? Someone was asking in the comments, how many brothers do you have?
On my mom's side, it's just Brandon. On my
Okay.
dad's side, I have 12 siblings.
Oh, you do?
Now, yeah, my dad is Puerto Rican and
Car.
white. Yeah, my
Whoa.
dad is
Okay.
Puerto
No
Rican and white.
Jasmine, but car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that side of my family, my mom kept me or shunned me away from. The only
Mm-hmm.
reason why I knew so much and I knew some of them is because I went to school with my cousin, which is my dad's niece.
Okay. I
And
understood.
we
Okay, I
would,
understood. So, but as far as even with both sides of the family, let me try to help. Let's push this forward a little bit. So, even with both sides of the family, you still your brother on your mother's side.
right.
That was your heart.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Okay, and then once his friends came and took him away, and then with the insecurities that you were dealing with at the time, he was really all you had. He was really your identity outside of yourself. You probably saw a lot of things you inspired in him and
Hmm.
looked up to him and wanted to be like him until you
I
were able
did.
to find your own. And so when someone came and essentially took that away, then it made you
Right.
feel a little bit neglected, as someone said in the comments.
And what made it worse was I had a birth defect. I was born with a birth deficiency, which is in my hands
Okay, all right.
and my
Well,
feet. And
in your feet
and
as well, same situation.
yeah, and
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but my bones did not fully develop. So
Okay, understood.
yeah, let me try to set this up.
Yes,
But
listen, we're gonna be honest, be straight. Yeah, okay, there we go.
yeah,
All right, understood.
so it's like
Is it, and that's
I
something that you're insecure about to this day? Have you
right,
gotten over
and
that?
that made me feel even more ugly because I would be like, why is my brother born normal, but I'm not? And I love my brother for this because to make me feel good, he was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I was born with an extra pinky. And so he will always try to make me feel better by saying, you're not weird. I'm weird too because I was born with an extra pinky. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get emotional, but like I really love him for that because, you know, even though I didn't understand, but he just did whatever he could to make me feel, you know, like we were the
So
same.
okay, so let's stop there because I think that what people may think, if not hearing that part that you're getting to right there, is that while you admired your brother and then essentially another friend came and took your brother away, we may want to see that there was a negative feeling that was there, even if it wasn't your brother's fault, that there was a sense of abandonment. But I love that you're saying this because as the older brother, he didn't abandon you. A lot of the attachment that you have, I'm sure, I don't know where you are today, but a lot of what you had at that time was in the fact that he actually showed attention. He saw you and didn't want you to feel bad, didn't want you to feel broken, was
Oh,
willing
but
to
baby,
share his scars with
it-
your scars and say that we are actually the same. We're the same.
right.
That's
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
then. We gonna
That's
fast
beautiful.
forward.
Say it again.
That was then, but we gonna fast forward in a minute.
Okay, but I do love the fact that let's just recap where we are. So basically, we're talking
Okay.
with Sherrod Willis. For anybody that doesn't know, if you don't know, shame on you. This is the beautiful Rashad Willis from G Status ATL that has decided to come here and have a deeper conversation. We really broke through some ice last time, and I wanted to know more about just Sherrod the person. So I'm so excited that you're here for that. So where we are
Thank
now,
you.
you're so welcome. No, thank you. So where we are now with Sherrod's story is that we're learning that felt like the ugly duckling, growing up in an environment where he really can relate to a lot of people, found a lot of solace and comfort in his brother. And then his brother got older, the brother started to develop his own life, which
Right.
consequently meant that you were by yourself and you felt a kind of way about that. So kind of push forward some years there. So let's get into more of your teenage years now. Let's go to your
Okay.
adolescence. What's going on?
So, and a lot of my background, because I grew up with a stepdad, and I can remember this one particular night.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be about 3 or 4, and I remember it because this memory. You know how you just have a memory that just sticks. It just no matter
Yeah,
how old you get,
it
it's
stays
just
with you. As
yes.
children, things happen to us and they stay with us. Go on.
This was so scarring for me because oh my God. It was one night, it was me, my brother, my mom, and we was living with my grandma at the time. And I remember because the dinner was pork chops and green beans and something else. And I had to be about 3 or 4.
Okay.
Um, and I remember, you know how sometimes the salt shaker is not all the way on the top is not all the way on the
Yeah,
salt
they're
shaker.
not secure, not
Right.
screwed down.
So nobody's watching me, but I caught myself like pouring salt on my food. I'm young. I don't know, I just, was pouring on my food and it all fell out. My grandma spanked me, but
Yeah.
my mom didn't approve. So they end up arguing. And all I could remember was my grandma saying, "Get out, get the fuck out."
To
So
who? To you?
to my mom.
Okay, go on.
And all I could, all I just saw the anger in my mom's face, and she had a suitcase. She grabbed me, and we hit it. Mind you, my brother's still there,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and we was in the middle of the night, and this man came and picked us up and took us to his home. And
Who's the man?
years later, he's still in the picture, and that's my stepdad, Danny Dobbs. So it's just like it's crazy. Like that
And I
just
think
was like
let's stop there
wow.
for a moment because let's and what I see there, because so basically you're saying that your grandmother wanted to spank you or did, and then your mother didn't approve of her doing that, and so she
Right.
jumped on your grandmother, and then they got into an argument because of the way that your grandmother chose to discipline you versus what your mother preferred.
Right, because
I want
I
to.
was I was a baby. I didn't know, but my grandma just went so hard on me, I suppose, and
Yeah.
my mom did not like how she did it, so they end up arguing, and then all I know is she was like, "Get the fuck out, get out,"
I
and my
can I
mom,
stop? Let me
yeah,
stop there for not just yourself, if you don't mind if I do this, baby. Not just for yourself, but for a lot of people that are watching. I think that it's hard sometimes to just tell people don't spank your kids. I think that we just rush to it and we don't really have the proper conversation. What I'm seeing based on what you're telling me, what happened in that situation is that you were seeing your mother. Follow me now. Your mother was trying to break the curse. And let me explain what I mean by that. We're taught, we don't realize that we have been taught from slavery that the way to deal with correction is to beat. From slavery, no one was ever explained anything to them. People were beaten just because. And that behavior kept coming down. And then why are the beatings being given? Well, we're beating you because now you did this wrong. Well, now your parents are going to beat you because don't let mass are going to hear you coming. So shut up, and they beat you to make you be quiet. And we've had silence beaten into us. And so what your grandmother was doing, not to excuse what she did, but what it sounds like what your grandmother did was what a lot of the older generation, used to do. This is how we handle it. And you don't contest me. You don't talk back to me. Because that was beaten into that person. And there's this echo of beating and abuse that is going on. So your mother saw that this doesn't need to be, I'm not raising him like this. I'm not going to do it that way. She was breaking the curse. And your grandmother wasn't trying to have the curse broken. She felt that that was the way.
Right.
So
And
at
I don't,
least for that moment, I'm
yeah.
understanding what that fight was about. That was a generational fight. Had literally nothing
Well,
to do with it.
and just to give you some more background, and
Okay.
my mom, like, and I told my mom about therapy and stuff, so my mom is okay with me explaining or getting out stuff that bothers me that's dealing with her and my grandma's, like, so I already have the okay to speak freely of this or to talk about it in therapy. And I'm gonna be like, this is my therapy. So to give you to give you a reason for that hatred and that anger about my mom and my grandma. My grandma she became a pastor's wife. So you already know that stereotype and
But long ago, right?
right.
Okay.
Well,
How
I mean,
old was she?
she still
How
is.
old was she when she got married? Do you know?
My grandma?
Yes.
I do not
Was she
know.
young?
I do
Was
not
she
know.
like 20 or like before that? Was she young? Because that's another thing. They used to our culture has changed. Now people aren't
See
getting
that
married at
I
all.
never really
Back then
I
people
never
got married very, very young.
right. Well, this is the thing. She did get married young to my original grandfather, which is her first husband.
Okay. Oh, she's a rebel herself. Her first. She's a rebel herself.
Yes, because I'm gonna tell
Let's
you.
talk about
I'm gonna
that.
tell you. I'm
You
gonna
know
tell you.
I have to say.
I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna just be honest. And so how she got her second
Hey G
husband,
Status, ATL is here in the comments. Hey G Status, thank you for being here,
how she
babes.
got with her second husband, whom she is with now, she kind of like stole him from somebody else.
Babe,
That
this is
is
a
so
movie. This is
sad.
a movie. Hey, little Kendra, this is a movie. This is
Yes,
like too much. This is too hot for TV. So so
yes.
so listen. So push past all that. I want to get more. I want to
Okay,
stay in.
so the root.
So
So let me get back to the reason why my mom and my grandma have so much hate and so much anger is because, oh,
they saw
and I
different ways
know.
of living. It seems like they butted heads. Was that the only time
Well,
that happened, or
no,
was
I'm
that
gonna
a
tell you
repeated thing?
because my grandmother's new husband. I was one day I was
This is a
going
messy ass
through,
story. Go ahead.
I was going through, how you go through like old memories and stuff like that, and I see my
Yes.
mom's prom ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I see my mom's prom ticket. I said, "Mom, why your ticket not turned off?" And I found out why.
You asked her what? Say it again.
I asked her why the prom ticket wasn't torn off, but she kept it as a memory.
And what was the reason? Because
Long story short, my mom didn't make it to the prom due to her
I
stepdaddy.
was really.
So that's where, oh, let me not get emotional talking about this. I'm shaking. Ooh, and I'm shaking because I love my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love my mom. And so, when she told me that, I was like, wow, like really? But mind you, I had to be about, I think I was a sophomore.
Okay.
And I just was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mom never made it to prom due to that situation. And what's bad about it is that my grandma did not believe her. But everybody in my family knew.
Whew.
So you talk about a curse. So it's weird because, like, you know, parents are supposed to protect their children. Parents are supposed to shield them from, bad people and bad things and all that. But how can you?
Wait, but people are asking in the comments. I don't think everyone is following. Some people are saying knew what. They're waiting on you to just confirm what it. You're kind of leaving
They
pauses where it
they
is just if
they
you're at
knew
liberty
that
to say what it is.
my mom. Okay, basically, my mom got raped by her
Right.
stepdad.
Okay.
She mentioned it to my grandma, which is her mother. She did not believe her. So
That's
then my
interesting.
mom told some of the family members, and that's what I meant by my family knew, because she poured her heart out to them because my mom did not believe her. So she needed somebody to tell, somebody to, what I'm saying, console her, hold her at that moment, because she did not get that from her mother.
Your grandmother didn't believe what you're saying, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Got it. Uh-huh.
And it pisses me off because how can you, as a pastor's wife, even, like, how could you not believe your daughter, your only daughter? But
But
you
you know
let.
what? The thing is, and again, I'm not trying to excuse any of
Right.
this, but just when we begin to understand the pressures, when we begin to understand, if you don't mind if I go here, a lot of these new day things where people say, well, why are you coming out now? Why are you saying it now? Whatever happened to you back in the day is back in the day. Why are we bringing that up now? Not understanding
Because it
that
affects
in
the
the
children.
day, you couldn't say anything in most cases. In the day, the powers were so great. Accusation during that day could have meant death. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Aside from being beaten or whoever it was, we learned how to shut stuff out. And that silence, as I was saying before, is literally what is oppressing many of us today. We don't feel that we have the right to tell our story like you're telling right now.
Yeah.
Even now, you would have someone would say, "We keep that. That's our business." And it's like, but wait a minute, everybody's going through something similar.
Well, like I said, I got the okay from my mom to talk about stuff.
That's good.
I got a phone call. Sorry.
You still there? Oh, okay.
But I got the okay from her to share this story, because she said whatever hurts me, whatever bothers me, and it's dealing with her, or the family, or like, it's okay. Express that. I want you to, because I want you to get better. So if me talking about what bothers me, and it's dealing with that, or the root, to get to the root, like, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We have got to be able to talk about our pain without apology, and without apology, and how can I say this? And without shame. So that
Yeah.
without apology to someone else about hurting their feelings and whatnot, and without shame, it should be okay. It's kind of a two-edged sword that we have to be able to work with to get through these
Hmm.
problems. So I'm glad to hear you say that you understand that now is the time that you need to be speaking up and saying things. There are a lot of people are saying wonderful things in the comments here, talking about just what silence has done to the Black community, and just an oppressive silence from white America. Let's be
Right.
real, and then from within our community, that the pressures, back in those days from white America
Right.
crushed down on the family. That's why we're going through a lot of things that's happening now. I always talk about, the young people and what's going on. Government and everything has crushed Black people so much that literally at this point, what we're not seeing is that we're destroying one another. And all of it comes from way back when. We wonder
The
why
roots.
people are
The
fighting in the
roots.
clubs now and going crazy and busting bottles upside people's heads. We have gotten to such a place of hate within our community and have made it a crime to call it out. We've got to call it out so we can
Yeah.
heal. So that's why I
That's
commend you
and
for calling it
I
out.
just feel like, if it, to me it just, like, it feels good to just get shit out. Like, for so long I hold stuff in, because the only reason why I did that or do that is because I'm told it'll make you stronger, or don't cry, or hold them tears
Yeah,
in, da da da. And
bottle up your tears.
I believed that for so long, but I
We
said
all
I
did.
still feel the same. I still feel the same if I hold it in, so I might as well just let
Yeah.
it out. That way I can move on, and
But think
not
about
hold
it.
on to the. to the
But
guilt, the
think about
hurt,
it.
all that.
This think about it like this too, Sherrod, in letting it out. And let us know in the comments your experiences. If anybody wants to be transparent, this is a safe space. I believe in
Right,
helping people. I believe in healing. The comments don't play afterwards. So this is just our talk. If we're really
right.
thinking about what you just said by shut up or I give you something to cry about, it. Be quiet. Go sit. Don't you cry. You shut your mouth. I think what we need to understand with that is that number one, where it comes from slavery. Tears did not have answers back then.
Mm-mm.
Think about that. Tears didn't have answers. So shut up. The slave master is coming. You beat your kid for whatever reason back then,
Mm.
and you got to shut them up because we'll both get beat now. So
Right.
shut up. Keep
They
those
like,
words to
master
yourself.
coming, master coming.
That
Shh.
that's the
Mm-hmm.
silence. That's the silence that's been worked into our community.
Right.
That is the silence. And so it keeps going, and we don't think we've learned to laugh about it. When one day it was means of survival. We've learned to crack up about it now, but it's still sad because we're not dealing with what it was. To
Yeah.
see your pain means that me as a parent, I don't know what to do. I can't let you cry because I have no answers for you as your parent in slavery days.
Well,
That behavior keeps going. Do
when
you
it
feel
comes,
that?
I do, but and I should say, but, and when it
Doesn't
comes
make
to
it
that,
right. Doesn't make it
when,
right.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
when it comes to that situation, it's just like I feel like she didn't protect my mom. I felt like she was covering for her husband. Like she had to put
All
on
of
this
those
facade.
things.
She put on this facade like I'm a pastor's wife, and
And
we can't, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, do you not know what you are doing? Because that shit, that type of attitude, whatever, it can get passed down to your grandchildren. And it's like, child.
But think about what you're saying there. Now consider this. Again, what I'm explaining doesn't make any of it right. We don't excuse behavior, but I think it helps us to explain behavior. Because then we can
Hmm.
exit out this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So think
Right.
about now, you said one thing you said a few times here is, I can't believe that my grandmother, being a pastor's wife, how dare you do that? I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm going to explain what I see. What I
Okay.
see there is a woman that if even with it being true, a lot of women, this isn't just a black problem either. This is a lot of women that go through this when they marry powerful men. To tell on them, Eddie Long's wife, for her to tell on what's going on, she loses everything. And a lot of these women didn't have skills to start over. Does not make it right. But a lot of those people, they are fortunate to marry into situations that kind of pull them above the fray. If they
Yeah.
admit what happened and due process comes in and now we got to deal with this rapist, this child molester, or whatever it is, if we have to deal with that, it's selfish, but I get it. That person, your grandmother in that case, would lose everything that she has. It doesn't excuse it. But now you may start to see where some of that was coming from. And again, that it's bigger than her. That now you've got to undo those ties for yourself. Because in some way, grandma's pain is affecting Sherrod. That's
Oh,
what I want to get
yeah,
to now.
it
Let's
is.
walk there. Where do you
It
see the
is.
parallel?
I feel like so many times I wanted to tell my grandma off or tell her about herself or whatever, but I was told don't disrespect your elders, don't talk back.
Don't
I'm in
talk back. Don't ask questions.
right.
Don't
She's
say
in the
anything.
church. She's in a church fan. Like I would literally be scared to ask her to take me to McDonald's. Like so, that's why I said I would
You
have my
learn to
brother
fear.
around. Yeah, because I
You don't
just
learn to
knew
have
that.
trust. You don't learn to have trust. You learn to fear. That's two different things. A lot of people don't get that. Being afraid of your parent doesn't mean that you trust them or you respect them. You're afraid of them. They may harm you. That is not parenting. That's
Well,
oppression.
it wasn't more
Go
so
on.
that I was afraid. It was just like, I
You
just knew
sure?
that.
You said you was afraid to ask to go to McDonald's. Remember what you said.
Well, I mean, I say that because I say that because my brother was like the golden child, so I just knew that because whenever I would ask for something, it'll always be a no or a slow, like it won't be, oh yeah, sure, baby, da da da. So when I say I'll be asked to go like places to McDonald's, it's because I I didn't want to get rejected or feel a certain type of way. But then if I asked and then
Even
my brother turned around and asked, oh, we going to McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? So it was always
yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah,
And,
it was, there were a lot of things
and
that were,
literally,
now,
I can
one question I ask
remember,
you, then I want to jump way forward.
yeah,
Why do you feel that your brother was preferred over you? Have you gone back to really think about that, and have you reconciled that?
I haven't dealt with it. I haven't dealt with the pain.
That's something to
I
deal with.
still feel because I hate now that like my emotions come so quick because when I talk about this stuff, like I just automatically want to cry and break down and get mad and scream because I just feel like it's not right. It's not fair because I'm a
Why
human
don't
being
you,
too.
Sherrod?
Nobody asks me how I feel. Nobody asks, checks on me. Nobody, it's like, why don't you though? But to my brother, oh, did you call your brother? Oh, da 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 da. And I'm like, did he call me? Like, why are y'all so worried about him? Like, what about me? Did you guys congratulate me for being on a reality show? Did y'all congratulate me for graduating? Did you congratulate me on this, that? Like, what about me? And then I feel like that's where the guard and the wall comes up. And then sometimes I get in this I don't give a fuck mode because hell, if they don't give a fuck about me, why should I give a fuck about me? So I could do this and do that and not care because nobody else cares. And then I'd be thinking like, well, at the end of the day, I should care about myself. Fuck what everybody else got to think.
Right.
But it's hard because all my life I was, I just wondered like why,
Yeah.
why is my
But that makes
immediate family,
sense.
why is my immediate family like going through all these issues? And I see everybody else talk so highly and speak so highly of their grandmother and da da. But when it comes down to my grandmother, I really don't have too much to say. But
I want to address.
I hear everybody else talk bad
Yeah.
about her, and I want to come to her defense, but I really can't. Other than that's my grand. It just blows me.
There are two things I want to put together here. Somebody, and I know the person's probably using dark humor like I do, so I'm not calling you out for saying this. I agree with you. The person said we as black people are so fucked up, and I wanted to. I feel the humor and the reality in that, and part of that being that it's not so much we're so broken, like it's beyond. It's deeper than just saying effed up. We're broken people. We've been broken down time and time and time again to where people don't even see a way out anymore. We have accepted racism and the pressures of this country to the point to where we have just so many people that I know are just giving up. They just don't even care. And then this pandemic with a race war on top of it, people are tired. No one wants to fight anymore. So to that I say I'm glad again that you're taking time to let your tears fall. You know what I'm saying? You're
Mm.
taking time to talk this thing through with me in the middle of the night. And there's so many people that are blessed by what you're saying. You're revealing a lot of things that we as black people within our families and as black people within the culture are not allowed to say. Because what we have equated honesty with weakness.
Yeah,
That's where
and
we've
that,
come to as a people. We have created an atmosphere really of no fault of our own to where now being honest means you're weak. Because to get through this shit, you got to be hard and have a spine made of titanium, and that's not life. You should be able to cry and fall apart and talk to someone and share your testimony and have someone say, my God, just hearing the Sherrod story is even something like my own lets me know that I'm not crazy. There is power in our testimonies.
and that's just like not even the half. And my
I believe it.
and this too, like my mom's an epileptic, so I would freak out
I
when she
bet.
caught a seizure. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't know if I had it.
Or what
I
to do.
was so scared, and I just remember it was snowing. We was walking. We got to a traffic light. My brother on this hand, my mom in the middle. I'm in this hand. We waiting for the traffic light. All of a sudden, I kid you not, she starts shaking, and I'm thinking it's because she cold. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I can tell when my mom back then when she was having a seizure because she would say something, but it wouldn't make sense, and then she'd just start shaking and twitching. So literally, it freaked me out. So we standing here, it's cold, it's icy, and all I know is she had a seizure. And literally, my brother fell, she fell, and I fell. When I tell you, that was the most scariest thing,
And
or
it,
one of the most scariest thing, and because I just like it was just
did
like,
you know what? Did
oh
you know?
my
So you
God.
did. This is your first time seeing this. You didn't even know what to do.
This no, I've seen it before. However, this time that it happened, it was just bad because usually when she had a seizure, like it'd be like in the house or my stepdad
Yeah,
would be there.
a place where
But
you
it
could
was just
contain it. Something could.
yeah
Something. It was easier to. It was
to
easier to deal with the
manage to
situation within the
right.
home. Yeah.
But it was us and like you know I couldn't go to my brother because he's on the ground. He crying too. So it was just like so traumatic and devastating. And it's scary because I was like, am I finna lose my mom? Like it was just and I was young. And my mom had
And to feel
seizures
so
really
helpless at that age.
and my mom had seizures up until like it started getting manageable and controllable for her up until I want to say until I got into adulthood.
Yeah.
Because I could remember I was my 17th birthday. I had a show at the MGM in Vegas, and we took the Greyhound. That was a two and a half day trip. We took the Greyhound on my 17th birthday.
It's
I
okay. Take your
performed.
time. Let the tears fall if they fall, Sherrod. Don't hold back. I'm here with you, baby. It's okay.
I performed at
Here
the
to support
MGM,
you. We're all here to
but
support you. It's all right.
on the bus, like she had a seizure on the bus. Like I don't think nobody know how that. Like I was so like, but I knew I had to protect her. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had to protect her because nobody was there but us. And she had a seizure on the bus.
That's so much responsibility for a child. Because you were how old at the time? 17?
I was turning 17.
And it was just you and your mother?
Me and my mom. It was a 2.5 day trip on the Greyhound.
And
And
I mean,
I
even though
remember
you
because
know,
I
yeah.
was listening. I remember the song. I remember it was in the middle of the night. I remember she was on the edge, and I said, Mom, you need to sit by the window. You need to sit by the window. I don't want you sitting in the aisle. She was like, no, just because I got to go to the bathroom, and I know how women is in the bathroom. So I'm like, okay. And I remember I was listening to SWV
Mhm.
on my CD player, and you know, I just remember my hand being grabbed so tight.
Oh,
And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, oh, please, please, please. And I looked over and like, I just, it's just like, oh my
oh,
God.
God. I'm so sorry. I'm so
And I didn't
sorry.
even, and I say that because let me fast forward. So I get to, I get to middle school now. I'm about to approach, I want to say the seventh grade. I'm about to enter in middle school. And at
Okay.
this time, it was only seventh and eighth grade, not sixth, seventh, and eighth. I'm about
Okay.
to enter middle school. The day that I entered middle school, my mom and brother, this was the first time that I've ever seen them get physical. They got into an altercation so bad that they fell down the stairs and broke the window. When I say it scared me to death. And the reason being for that fight, I blame my grandma because my grandma, once again, tried to keep my brother from my mom. And he was just sick of living in poverty, meaning he was just sick of living poor. He was sick of not having the life. He was sick of not being catered to like that. But I'm saying, this is your mother. This is the woman who gave birth to you. And you want to leave all that just so you can sleep comfortably? But you don't know what you're doing to your mom. Now, at the time, I just couldn't understand why he wanted, like, why do you want to leave mommy? Like, why? I didn't say me. I just said, why do you want to leave mommy? And then here I am entering middle school. I don't have my brother. I don't have no friends. Like, and I just witnessed a traumatic fucking experience. like an hour or two before I have to walk to school. I
Wow.
didn't want to go. I didn't want to go because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to come home and nobody would be there. I didn't know if I was getting picked up from school. Like I didn't know anything. And I came home. My mama hugged me so tight. She said, it's just me and you. Yep. And that made me hate my brother.
He said, I made you hate your brother?
Yep.
People are asking how much older, and I'm watching the time, everyone. The Instagram will let me know when we have 2 minutes left. As soon as that happens, then we'll come back. People are asking, how old is your brother?
My brother is
How much older
34.
than you is your
Oh,
brother?
we're 2 years apart. So
Because you're how old?
he's 31.
Okay, got it.
31, yeah.
So you're
Um,
29? Okay. Be proud. You're getting up there. You'll be my age
but
soon.
I just feel, you know, that
You
just,
you had a lot. Listen, and when we come back in the second hour, I want to go a little bit, to some other places we said we talked about. But for this first moment, listen, we can almost just we can come right back. Like, I think this is a good place to pause. Let's take a break.
I
Let's
don't know.
have
I
what
just
I
don't want to talk about it because I'm just
uh
not.
what'd you say?
I just don't want to talk about it. Like it just brings back like so many.
No, I don't want you to. You don't have to go any further into this. I respect you saying that. Thank you for
'Cause
what you gave.
I don't want to hate my brother now, but
Right.
like I hated him.
Yeah.
I hated him so much because how could you leave mommy? Like how could you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what she dealing with. It don't
Here's
matter.
well,
Like
I'll
when you grow up in the hood, it's not perfect. Yes, you live with rats and roaches. I'm not ashamed. Yes, I had rats. I had like I'm not ashamed of none of that because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was not born getting dropped off in Porsches and Hummers no, I had to take the city bus. Sometimes I had to walk 2 miles to school. So people don't know.
right.
But for you to leave and how you left.
Yeah.
But then I have to think, Sherrod, he was a teenager too, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
On a
I
different page in his
I
life.
get it.
And let me say this, if you'll allow. One thing that I had to learn about my own family when I got a chance to get with my siblings and we just were talking, when we began to talk, Sherrod, I found out that, get this, it felt like we were raised in 4 different households. Now, mind you, we all grew up together,
Hmm.
but our experience of that house as individuals was different. So even though, and I'm not saying you don't have a right to be upset, but I will say that just include this in your work, that your brother had a completely different path than you did. Yes, there are general things that kids go through as siblings. If it's a good household, a bad household, some things are obvious as far as I get all that. But at the core of it all, everyone is growing up by themselves. I don't care if there are 10 kids in one house. There are 10 different experiences that are going to come out of that house, regardless of what you all see and witness together. Like you said, the roaches and the rats and all that, regardless of the fact that you both went through that, he has to walk his own path. Now, in that path of maybe abandoning someone, he's going to have to go back and reconcile that. But I guarantee you that, I don't know if you have yet, but if you were to talk to him, his experience of the household and being raised by your mother with the influence of your grandmother was completely different from yours.
Right, but
Does that
see,
make sense?
it does, but the thing about my mom and my brother, they're Pisces, and
Okay.
they have an exterior to the point where they don't want to see no, they don't show no emotion, or they don't like to, and they try to just And I just be like, why? Like, but see, I'm a Libra, so I'm different. My mama
You're,
said, my mama said, you my special child. Like, you different. Because her and my brother, they had the same emotion. They had, like, they just, like, when they got into that fight, I've never seen that. It's like they both had shit built up. And I'm like, oh my God.
yeah.
Like, oh my God. And I'm sitting here crying like a little bitch. Like, because
No, you don't say that. I want you to
I,
start changing some of these confessions. And I don't want to pick on you, but start changing some of that. You were crying like a scared child that didn't know what to give.
yeah,
Give those. Don't take those moments, and you got to watch what you say, baby. Watch
okay,
what you say even about your past. Even when you're laughing,
yeah.
watch it, because
I just was,
you literally are writing your story, and
yeah,
you can go back and you can edit it. Don't make certain moments so, nah. You had a lot on your shoulders, and you got to be able to say that. You got to be able to get that out. You got to be able to let that go. And if you always trivialize your pain and your perspective, every time you come back to this, it's just going to be like a record player that gets stuck in the groove. We want to advance. So allow
yeah.
yourself to feel that. Don't take that away from yourself. Sorry. I just had to
I
say that.
just, and you're right, I don't know why I just try to joke about it, but it's just like,
No,
I
don't feel
guess because
bad. We learn how to work with humor. Don't worry about that.
it's just like with Pisces, they're different. Like they don't show, at least for my mom and brother, like they just
Yeah.
be like hard. Like they just don't get emotional. They just, what I used to say, I'm trying to think of the terminology I use. Like, it's like a jawbreaker. Like they just so fucking hard. Like it's just,
Yeah.
they don't break.
But that's not just them, Sherrod. That's a lot of Black culture. We're all like, look at what we're learning now. The things that have always been said, that now we're giving voice to them. Someone was saying in the comments to give voice to the experience. Think about that. How Black women's pain at the hospital is not taken the same as their white counterparts. We're taught to be, as I said before, made out of titanium. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to scream. We're not allowed to be vulnerable. We're not allowed to fall apart. We're not. We've been holding all this in, and then we wonder why bipolarism is so big in the Black community.
Yeah.
Hypertension and heartache and just all these things. Why we have bottled up so much in the name of being strong. And I don't even want to go down this road, but then you put church on top of it, where it never gave voice to science and therapy. Everything is and I know we have people may have different
Take it to
beliefs. I'm
God.
not speaking
Take it to
against
God.
church. But think about it. We have been conditioned to shut the hell up. And if you're going to say anything, say it to God. But I need to tell a
Yep.
person. I need to connect with another human being. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that I can't pray. I'm not saying that God can't heal. I'm not saying that God can't make a way. But there is something about hearing another person's experience. You are healing people in these comments. I don't know if you're looking in your peripheral. You
I'm
are
I'm
healing people
I'm
by just
and
saying it.
I'm not trying to shun out the comments. It's just like,
I
because
mean,
I
don't
don't,
worry. I'm looking. Don't you worry. You just
yeah,
tell me.
because I don't want people to like make fun or talk, because this
They're
is
not.
serious shit.
They're
And I
not.
know
This is the
and
most
I know we're gonna get
supportive
into G
room you
status,
have.
but it's just like, this is not a G status moment right now. This is like
This is the human
my
moment
moment.
that
You know
that
what I'm
that
saying? And
that
I didn't
informs your
even
G
get
status
on
experience.
I didn't even get on, how I would be scared. Like I would have like on the weekends we would go see my grandmother in Detroit. Like I would literally have to sneak on the phone to call my mama. Like I could remember waking like waiting to see if my grandma, my grandfather sleep. I would sneak down, and back in the day them houses had them steps where it's like you try to creep but it's still loud. So I'm trying to tiptoe down the stairs, and
That's an
I
economic problem. We ain't gonna talk about that.
right.
Go ahead.
And
Prime
I and I
economic
get on the
problem.
I would get on the
It's
phone.
true.
I would, because every time I would leave, my mom like, you call me, like just call me. But for some apparent reason, my grandma would have a problem with me calling my mother. So I would sometimes like have to sneak and call her, and I would literally cry. And then I remember my grandma would pick up the phone like, "Hello, who? Sherrod,
Yeah.
get off the phone and come to bed." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so that bothered me, because I shouldn't have to sneak to call my mother your daughter. However, she would get mad or it'll be a problem. And it's just like, maybe she just wanted me to go to bed, or maybe she, I don't know what it was, or it was just weird. Like talking about it now, but see how I'm talking to you about it freely. I can't.
Yeah.
I faced her many times as an adult, and I just
Can't say
couldn't
it.
bring it up. I couldn't because
You know
it
why?
just
You can't.
it
You
would kill
can't.
me. It'll hurt me.
Huh? Say it
I
again.
feel like I feel like it'll hurt me, but I would be healing. But it'll hurt me because
That's
I could
right.
just imagine
Here's
seeing her. Yeah.
but here's here. Let me give you a piece of that. That's the effect. Is that it'll hurt you, and you know it'll be healing, but it'll hurt you in that part. But we need to go back to the cause. The reason that you can't say it, Rashad. Forgive me if I say Rashad. I'm thinking of two different people. Sherrod. The reason why you cannot do that is because you have not healed the little boy that can't speak.
Oh.
Every time, feel me, Sherrod. Every time that you try to voice it, you know the adult Sherrod knows that it's good. The man that you have become, what you've accomplished, the expansion that you have for everything that you work for, you know that it's the thing to do. But every time you get ready to make the attempt to do it, your psyche remembers and pulls you back into the times where you weren't allowed to
Man,
speak.
you
It
girl,
pulls you
have
back.
you are really looking? Are you psychic? Because you you just, oh my God. And when you were saying that,
I'm.
I
That's
could
what it
remember
is. You're going
fast
back.
forwarding to, I don't know if I can, and this was just recent, like a few months back. Um, cause okay, well, let me just,
Oh,
maybe I should wait to the second half because we were still talking about my past. But anyway,
well,
in
let's
middle
do that.
school,
Go ahead. Well,
middle
hold on. Let's do
school.
that. Let's do that. Are we about to turn? Are we getting ready to turn a page?
Yeah, I was gonna go from middle school into high school and then into adulthood.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's just for a minute because I don't want you to really get into something and you gotta. That's a good place
Yeah.
to pin it. So listen,
If you
everyone.
want to take questions from the audience or whatever, I can leave for a minute and
Well, I
whatever.
want we're on it because Instagram will shut us down in a minute. So listen, I'm just gonna go
Um,
refresh. My little situation here. Everyone, thank you for being here with us tonight. Sherrod
thank you
Lewis of
guys.
G Status ATL is pouring out his soul in a way that he doesn't have to, and I am thankful that he is because of the healing that I'm seeing take place in these comments. We're going to advance forward into his story. I don't want Instagram to cut us off, so let's all take a little woosah, go talk about it, text each other,
Yes.
invite people on the way back. Go refresh yourself, Sherrod, and let's come back in about 2 minutes and continue. Is that
Okay. And
okay?
I'm definitely gonna dig deep into some stuff that I just swear I
We
never
want
was gonna
to hear
talk
about
about.
your coming out story too. We can talk about
But
that as well.
when I say you make me so comfortable to talk about this shit.
I'm thankful. I'm humbled and I thank you because you did that touches my heart to hear you say that. It lets me know that the direction that we're going in is where we should with this platform. Let's help people. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So right on time. Instagram's getting ready to cut us off. It just put up 2 minutes. Okay. So
Okay.
everyone
So
go
just let
refresh.
me know when to get back on.
You got it. Yeah, I'll be back in about, let it refresh about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then when you see me on, just get on here. Everyone come back. Hey, Vincent, everybody else, I love you. We'll be right back.
All right.